we're back. And our next goal is to upgrade our refineries so that they're using advanced advanced oil. And I really want to head for robots soonest. How are we doing on that? Well, we actually have construction robots ready to go. So in theory, if I put everything in boxes and I build out the construction robots, then my base will be able to build. And if I put a RoboPort in my suit, then I should be able to actually use it. Now, I believe that once I've got these marked for upgrades, I can go ahead and mark the mid-end game mall up. Let's see if that works. Transport belt is in the way, so somewhere I have a transport belt. All those places that are marked in red have to be upgraded before I can actually do anything with this. Oh, joy. Which means I have to get some robots built so they can run the upgrades before I can plop down the rest of the blueprint. Well, I could force push the blueprint, which is not a bad idea. So if I do a shift click, it will put down stuff that's new, which is there. And again, once I get robots, it will build them. And this will give me the assembling machine here, and so on. So our goal now is to get enough robots built that I can have the robots start to build more stuff for robots. Yeah. Which is going to require lube. Which is going to require that I finally do the upgrade. I finally do the upgrade for the machine out here that is producing my oil. So I ran a little bit of math, and even running science full out, all of this petroleum over here is total overkill. Anyway, time to get this going. Stuff that is going to be useful for me in the short term. Anything to do with robots and inserter capacities. Clearly, mining productivity will help. I need to refrain from doing anything that requires purple. So can't do those yet. And let's get logistics. Oh, we got logistics robots. Okay. So that's mostly what's going to be useful. So let's start just picking up things I can research. There. Now, the trick of this is, oh my goodness, all this time, this row has not been hooked up to oil. Oh my. I must have trimmed that off at some point. Yeah. Okay, so we are now making here. So the next step is going to be to drop in the advanced oil refining here. Now I'm noticing that when I put in the modules, those are going to extend out, so I need to move my coal 2 steps to the right. So as part of this, I'll be moving the coal to the right as well. Oh, blast. I can tell I'm going to have to stomp this down several times because I'm going to make mistakes. So let's put that on the bar. And I did not bring those with me. Interesting. Well, okay, we're going to have to come back with some storage. We can drop what we can drop. Okay, it's not clear how far out I'm going to drag these. It's not even clear to me if I really want to bring out heavy oil and light oil. I do know that I'm going to need to bring out the lubricant. And what I'd like to do with the lubricant is put it somewhere on the bus. It's going to have to be here. So let's bring it to here. It only needs to go up that far. So once I start making lubricant, it will head out onto the bus. And this will be the only one that I build manually because I think this is going to be enough to get at least some robots built. Please. Heavy oil here. It stretches all the way down there. This level of intricate work is actually a lot of fun, but I didn't think it would be very interesting to watch. You know, watch me work out how to do this from scratch. So yeah, we're just going to use the plans that Nauvis published. So we have, oh, this is water. Okay, that makes more sense. So here's the water input. We'll have to find out where, you know, whether that actually covers all of the water needs for this. For example, does it actually reach around to cover the water for the original refineries? Yeah, this kind of lacing of the light oil through here, it's always kind of fiddly to work out how to get that to work right and still be able to cook up all your inputs. Notice the space here is reserved for beacons. very careful. Sometimes it's hard to tell the undergrounds from the lines. So the best you can really do is just hope they all make sense. So all the heavy oil is coming across and down to here, where it's used to make lubricant, which is shoveled out to the left here. And once we have enough lubricant, there it is, 5K, we will start cracking the heavy oil down to light oil. Bada boom, bada bing, combines with the light oil here, and gets shuffled down to this bus bar. So this water supplies these guys. I don't see any water going up to the upper half, so I'm going to have a second water supply for this top. And my goodness, I am out of pipe. So we need to get pipe, we need to get the storage tanks, and probably a few other things. Now we are going to need to get a couple of pumps, offshore pumps. Those are, I always miss those. Those are over here. Oh, we have 4 of them. That'll be enough. That'll be more than enough. We only need 1. Okay, so 3 pipes to ground. 3 stacks of pipes to ground should be enough. 3 stacks of pipes should be enough. Now I just realized when I stop down the new recipes, it will it will have changed all of my box limits back, and all of my program limits on the inserters back to their original values. So when we don't have enough of something, we're going to have to work it out and come back and change it. But for now, we're just going to let things rest until we've got some bots in and the bots can set up the upgrades. So we have undergrounds, we have pipes. What else did we need? Oh, right. Storage tanks. Silly me. Where did they go? I know I have them here somewhere. Because we're making train cars. Come on, where did I go? Yes, right there. So, stack of storage tanks. Okay, continue building. Let's start from the top and just go over everything very carefully. There. There's water. How far over can I bring this? Well, let's see. If I bring it to here, I can bring that guy in. Yeah. I'm not sure what the intent is on that. Let's take a look at how the highest end is going to latch onto here. So that's what that looks like. And there's really no clue in the blueprint as to how the oil and the water is supposed to get in, but there really is nothing off to the left blocking it. So that's actually clear territory over there. So I could just designate that. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and run this out. Now, I don't remember whether one offshore pump is enough for a advanced refinery that uses that much stuff. Well, we'll find out. We can always add more as time goes by. Okay, so these guys are now lighting up, which means we're doing something right. Looks like all of these pipes are in, and it looks like all of these pipes are in. Okay, and there's some lubricant going into the lube tank and out onto the main bus. Yay! I don't believe we need light oil on the main bus. And here's water. Let's run the water down. How are we doing here? I believe all of these are hooked up. We're pretty aggressive about pulling lubricant into there. There we go. So the refinery here, its output rate is going to be limited to just what it can output based on petroleum being pulled out of here. Now, I believe that we only need this much of the factory going. So I'm going to cut that loose. Make sure this gap is really visible. And by doing that, these will not be able to fire up. So this will maximize the amount of lubricant I'm sending out for the given amount of petroleum. So we now have some lubricant on the bus, not a lot. But that's going to be limited by how much petroleum we are sending out as well. So next question, did I hook up lubricant to them all? I did not. So let's plan it out. If you ghost the pipes, then you can just run and plant. Just like that. And there's the lubricant. So eventually these will be making blue belts once I get that researched. And the lubricant now wraps all the way around where it comes in here and feeds the electric motors, which are then going to feed into here. This isn't going to be able to make anything because, quite frankly, we don't have any processing units yet. We won't for a while. But this shows the beginnings of what I will need for the robo factory. So we need one engine machine feeding one electric engine unit. Those come in pairs. If I remember right, we end up with either two electric engine units feeding one robo frame, or one electric engine unit feeding two robo frames. I am not sure which one it is, so we're going to have to build them and try. But I do want to kick that off and get it going now that we have lubricant. So I used to have a nice blueprint called SKYNET, which I am going to search for, because it would be really nice to be able to just put down my old SKYNET, which builds a lot of robots. Otherwise, I'm going to have to work out from scratch how to get the engine factory into the electric engine factory into the RoboFrames. It's kind of fun, but it's slow. See all those question marks? That's very old blueprints of modded builds that I did a long time ago. And I should probably sweep all that up and put it somewhere other than just in a box called Very Old. Sorted blueprints, maybe in there? Goodness, I even have my old blueprint, which is the KOS starter base from 0.17. Oh, I used that a few times. That's a nice little base. And Elderax's Chunk-aligned rail network. And my grid base I was working on. Yeah, I ended up building the grid base, but I didn't put its blueprints back in the main book. So when I lost its save, I thought I had its blueprints, and I didn't, and oh well. So I'm going to have to construct a SKYNET factory. Oh darn. You're going to have to actually watch me design something. Goodness! So, total resources for a RoboFrame. It's going to need steel, and copper, and iron, and batteries, and electric engines. And that's as far as that goes, because those all require fluids. Let's head out here a little further. I'm going to head all the way out to this radar, and I'm going to go just beyond that. This will leave a lot of space to the right of the robot factory to put things that I want to build, even when I'm still building robots. Because robots they're going to build a lot of stuff, so robots are going to start here-ish. So the rightmost column is going to be the actual flying robot frames. The robots themselves, there's only going to be one machine each. So flying robot frame and advanced circuits, and flying robot frame and electronic circuits. Let's start off by placing those. Why not? And I like lining things up, so we're going to line this up like that, just on this area here. Where am I? Did I scan over myself? I did. Okay. So, this is the upper right corner of where I want things to go. And this will be, actually let's step in by one. This will be construction robots. And I'm going to feed construction robots right into a roboport. Like that. And I think what I will do is I will feed it into a box, which will feed into the roboport. So eventually this will be the kind of box where I can fill it up to a certain level and, you know, yeah. Do I want to put a requester chest here? No. This will be a provider chest eventually into the logistic network. We are not going to limit things. I'll be able to dump things into it. And what we want to do is this is read robot statistics, and I'm going to say if the if total construction robots T is less than some value I want. Let's set this at 100 right now. If T is less than 100, then I'm going to send in a robot. And this doesn't need to be connected to the box. And this is going to say if everything in the box is less than 200, then put things in the box. There we go. Now, this is going to make it hard for me to put robo frames in, so really what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around like this. Furthermore, I am going to move it further in, like here. In fact, let's just move it right there. Okay. Because the robo frames are going to come in. The robo frames are going to be split. I do not trust this. I really don't trust this, actually. Yeah, we are going to split the robo frames half and half. And there. And this is going to be logistics bots. So in the long run, we are going to be building a lot of robots. And I don't want either one of these to be soaking up all of the available robo frames. So the robo frames will come in from the bottom. And we will get our shot at half of them. Like that. This guy also needs green circuits. It needs 3 per second, so I messed up a little bit because I need to have robo frames and red and green circuits coming in. And 3 per second. You see why I dither about this a bit. Let's mark our height here so I don't have to keep going and doing weird things. So there. Like that. This means that our RoboFrames can split neatly. Yeah, I just need to worry about getting red and green up there. So if I bring these chips in here, this guy requires red, so this will be my red chips coming down from the top. I believe that's going to be fast enough. Is it? No. Yeah, let's do it this way. Okay, there's the RoboFrames, and there's the red and green chips, just like that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, I'm not unhappy with that. And that powers everything right there. And how about that? That's perfect. My power placement's not perfect, but that's good enough. Now, this guy is plumbed up to T, which is total construction bots. And this guy needs to be plumbed up to total logistic bots, Y. So this is going to be Y up to 100. So small network. Eventually we'll have tens of thousands of robots in this network. And what will happen is that whatever we ask for will fill more in here. And when these roboports fill, we won't be adding any more bots until they actually get called out to be used. So we won't suddenly build a huge number of unused robots. And I neglected to do something here. There. So this gets red and green. So red on one side, green on the other. Well, red has this up here. And it needs to come down to the left so that the green can come in from the right and merge with it. We will set that up right here. Like that. And like that. And that goes down there. So now we need to set up this guy. Like that. And again, we'll have blue chips coming in left to right and batteries left to right, heading out towards the mall. Or we'll have blue chips coming right to left, and we'll figure that out when we get there. So there's our red and green. We're waiting for a lot of things to be built. So this is going to be where all of our we'll figure that out in a moment. Okay, so we need to do engines to those to those. What this tells me is I need half as many electric engines as these. So that. There's our balance. Whoops. No. Haha. Let's get it right. There is our balance. So the trick is getting a compact build, direct insert from engines to electric engines to these guys. And I used to have a way of doing this. So these guys have 4 inputs, one of which is electric engines, and then there's 3 more. So we're looking at 2 belts. Minimum. Like that. We're looking at steel, batteries, and green circuits. This guy needs green circuits, engines, and lube. Well, it can share the green circuits here. And if I do it right, I can make this jump over it. So we actually look like that. I wish I could just push things to the right there. These are incredibly slow. These are even more incredibly slow. So green chips come in there and get peeled off to here. We need steel and batteries. So steel and batteries, left or right, whatever, it doesn't matter. And there's our output. Here we have green chips handled, we have lubricant, and we have electric engines that are going to be direct insert. So if I put my lubricant there, that is going to require something like this. Which means I really want this to be feeding in here. Now maybe we can put it one more to the right. This guy needs steel. Ha! So we've got 2 things that need steel, and we've got steel here, like that. So this becomes steel and green chips. Let's mark that. Let's put that on 1. Where'd they go? There. I'm probably not going to be using a lot of these, but I will be using this. So this guy is going to be steel. and green chips. Like that. Which means that this guy is going to be batteries. Where did batteries go? Here. And this guy will be our robo frames. Let's get some power over here so I can see things. So this gets our steel. We still need to get gears and pipes. Now gears and pipes, they're going to come in on a belt. And we already know that if we had 20 of these, we'd need 2 belts. But we only need 1 belt because we got 10 of these. And I believe that's if we do this 10. So if we pull this up here, notice this is all balanced, and our inputs are, in terms of a belt, we need this. If we do 10 copies of this, which is a lot, 10 copies would get us, I'd say, 1/10 of a belt of steel, 1/10 of a belt of that, 20th. That's still only a 1/4 belt of green chips. So 10 of these really doesn't use very much in the way of materials and doesn't produce very much in the way of output. This is going to be per minute 4.5 per minute. So this will get us 45 per minute output. So this happens to be at the right vertical. I could just do it here, leave myself plenty of room. Or I could head off to the right. Again, if we go in terms of basic inserters, we can do all of this with one basic inserter here. So here's our basic unit. And this is the closest that we could cuddle them up. So the fact that my engines need to go one further up, this means I am on a 7 per, because this distance to this distance is fixed. Which means that this is actually here. Boom. So there's my replication. So we go from here to here. This is a snap to grid relative, and the grid size height is only 7 because there's an overlap. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. And you can see that I didn't have everything lined up. That's all right. I'm putting these in manually. Like that. I think I'm going to do. I'm only going to do the first couple, and I will let the robots handle the rest. There. Now, this guy outputs to here. So at a minimum, we're talking that. Now, I could take this whole array and pull it down and to the right, and I think I will. because it's shaped so strangely, I'm not going to feel so bad about it not being justified as far to the north as possible. But you know, if I can get some electric motors, I can build a couple of robo frames manually, which will make things a lot easier. So let's just do that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, but if I do that, yeah, let's not build this out if I'm not going to have mats. We're going to build just the first one. And I'm going to put it there. So we're going to come in and drop a couple of robots here, and we're going to let this start to churn. We will need to build batteries somewhere. We'll work that out in a moment. Okay, so, and I trimmed off my planning. So we're going to go back here, and I'm going to put it back down in as I work through this. This is lube. Plan it out and double check it before I start hooking it up. And that's where I got it wrong, because this is not iron, this is iron products, which means I need to have gears and pipes. And one of these needs to go on the near end, so I will just do it here, like that. And I forget which one of these needs more here. I'll just do that. If I put that there, like that. Yeah, I know, I was gonna let the robots build this. I suppose getting the first one going by hand is... So here, and 7 up is here. There we go. Or I could go here and here. That's probably more better. So from there to there. And this is my iron input. Bada-boom, bada-boom, bada-boom. I'm going to assume everything is worked out by the time we get here. So what did I change in this blueprint? Okay, I added a power pole there and there, and I added those. So we go back to here and we select new stuff for the blueprint. And now when we stamp it down, we're starting here. There we go. And this is a total of 20 of those and 10 of those and 10 of those, and I believe that's going to be enough of those. This is lubricant. So we have a lubricant. This is green chips and steel. I'm glad I remembered that. Come on, green chips and steel. And this is batteries. Where did batteries go? There they are. Green chips and steel. All up here. So the steel needs to come from the right, and something needs to come from the left. So, yeah. What I really want to do is have it here, which means I need that and that and that. And I ran myself out of undergrounds. And this is going to require reds. How about that? Let's go get some undergrounds and build this up. Wouldn't it be nice if we just had robots that were bringing us our stuff when we wanted it? As in, get some logistics robots out there and get a logistics network going? Coming soon. We already have a lot of things that we want to build. A lot of things we want to upgrade. So 3 of those, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of yellow belts. We're running low on a lot of things here. 3 stacks of red belts. We've got plenty of those. Now we have plenty of those. Plenty of those. And those. Inserters. Don't forget that I do want to carry a stack of stack inserters. Just one. And 1, 2, return those. That should be enough. We may need to put more of these out, so let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3 full stacks. And once again, we seem to have picked up some assembly machine 1s. Let's put those back. We don't need those anymore. Bring ourselves up to 2 full stacks of assemblers. We're going to need chem plants for the batteries. I really don't know how many chem plants I'm going to need for the batteries yet. Let's find out. So for these guys to run per minute, we need 9 batteries per minute. So I'm thinking 1. Oh, 9 per minute per one of those, so 90 per minute total. Let's see, this guy, when I'm set it for batteries, so 90 divided by 15 is going to be 6 of these. So I've got plenty. And 6 of them, well, let's figure out the resources. So this is going to need 90 copper and 90 iron per minute. That's not a problem. And sulfuric acid. So we're just going to do those on site here. I'm not going to put them on the bus and run them around. I'll have a bigger one for the bus somewhere. And from there to there, we can actually do this like that. So grain and steel coming in. If I did this right, we should start seeing some intermediates come out. So this is going to wait on steel. There we go. So we're going to get engines. This is waiting on engines, and it will be giving us these. So now we're just waiting on batteries to get this going. Batteries are the only thing on this row, so I could literally put my batteries off to the right. We'll make this tidy later. So these guys are going to be here. One of these will require copper and iron, possibly on a merged belt, and will require sulfuric acid on the input. And I really only need to do the first. Like that. And this is going to be sulfuric acid. Let's get that going. So we are going to bring up iron and copper that far. We are going to set up some of that. I'm going to make 3 copies of that much. And like that. So now we need iron and copper coming up. And I'm just going to bring it right down here because there's nothing wrong with little good old spaghetti. So iron from the right and copper from the left. So my bots will build that out when they get to it. So if I've done this right, eventually we will start getting robots out here. What is my actual capacity right now? In items per minute. Oh, I need to leave these off. Actual capacity is 4.5 robo frames per minute, or every 30 seconds I'll get one of each. Yeah. So now I need to give these robots some stuff to build. Not going to run the robot logistics network out to the east right now. But I do need, let's see, we need yellow and red. Oh, I have yellows. I did pick them up. I thought I had. And the reds are what I'll put in the mall. So what I need here is I am going to need to put enough parts in for the robots to build that, which is let's do a copy of the whole thing. So there's my shopping list. So 300 yellow belts. And we're off. And 100 of these. And a stack of assemblers. And a stack of power. Oh, I don't have it. Let's go get the rest of this. Also, I could stop at the mall and put a bunch of red providers down. Or I could put a yellow chest with a bunch of red chests in it and put some bots down and let them just upgrade. Yeah. Okay, so if all they can get their hands on is, well, once they start putting in the red chests, they'll get their hands on other parts and they'll start upgrading it. And I do want to get the red chests out early. So let's do those by hand. So let's see. I left off at power. Okay, and undergrounds. We have plenty. Pipe to ground, we have plenty. Blue inserters, we have plenty. Red inserters, we have plenty. Pipes, plenty. Lab. Okay. And I think that's everything. I'm going to go give them that stuff, then I'll come back and start putting my logistics around. Okay, power. We need a stack of those. We need a stack of undergrounds. We need a stack of pipe to grounds. We need a stack of blue inserters. We need a stack of red inserters. We need a stack of pipes. We need a stack of labs. We need a stack of lamps. And red undergrounds and yellow. I can only give you half of mine. And you don't really need those. Haha, I forgot to build that box, so of course these are just sitting here, which means that this will build up. And let's go with that. I can let that even out later. In fact, what I'm going to do now, this doesn't cover the whole thing. So let's place another one here. And I'm going to give them a little bit of a hand with the power. So we currently have 14 construction robots. We're off to a running start. Okay, let's speed it up some and watch it go. So 10x speed. Okay. So now we've got the whole thing. In theory, this is now going to be producing 45 robots per minute. And we're going to go ahead and let this go now. So in a couple of minutes, about maybe 5 minutes, we will even this out at 100 each. So we're going to let it go 10x. Actually, let's let it go at, say, 50x. Can we get to 3,000 UPS on this base? We can't quite get to 3,000 UPS. Still 2,400, that's pretty good. Okay, so we now have filled up with 100 bots of each type, and we're done with this. So now it's a matter of just connecting our networks up. And what I want to do is have our network start out in the middle here. So there's where I will initialize things. And we will put, well, no, let's not put it at the pipe. Let's put it down here with the power. And I'm not going to stretch them out to be exactly as far as they need to be. What I will do, yeah, I'm going to put them at every pole. So we have plenty of charging. But that means I'm going to need a lot of them. I've done this before where I set up the base, I put the roboports on the perfect grid, and then you get disappointed when you can't hit the perfect grid with something. So instead what I'm going to do is put them with the poles roughly, you know, almost twice as many as I need. I can always add more, as usual. And now we get to go in here. I should have brought all the robots back with me. Oh, that was silly. Well, let's grab our roboports and lay those out going to the left. And how many roboports am I going to need from now on? A lot. So let's grab all of them. See, once I get these laid out, the robots themselves will probably head back to start doing upgrades. Oh, they don't have anything to upgrade with to her. If I'd done this the other way, it would have been a lot easier. Now, it is possible that this is going to fail miserably because I am suddenly going to be out of energy. That always happens to me when I put my robots in. So let's take a look. The last 10 minutes, energy consumption spiked from roboports. But we were still well under limit. And we're going to grab these guys. These guys. This will build more, but I'm going to take the robots I've got now and drop them on the other side. And we stopped doing research because I was busy here. We still can't do yellow and purple. But see now, look at all of this. This is all roboport coverage, and the green is construction, and the yellow is logistics. So this is nicely covered. And oh boy, are they going to be building stuff. So let's start off with dropping the construction bots in there, and the logistics bots in there, and let's manual upgrade some things. Oh, it's upgrading the ones I wanted to upgrade. Now I'm going to need to drop some of these down. Almost forgot. Right. So now, in theory, everyone that needs red boxes should be upgraded. So the next question is, why is it not starting to do the upgrades for all the other ones? because these are green. Oh, can I build green ones yet? I don't think I can build green boxes yet. Oh, you son of a guns. So if I was going to do this, I would have to upgrade the greens to reds, and then later take all of the reds down and drop the blueprint on top again to make them back into greens. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. So if I can just set green to red, does that work? Yes, it does. And at this point, I should have a robot making that upgrade for me. Why is no robot coming to make that upgrade? Is it just that it takes that long? I guess it just takes that long. Okay, so there we go. Now, is there any downside to turning all the reds into greens? What's the difference? So a red is a passive provider chest. I can't build greens yet, so I don't know. And here we go. Oh, and look at all of those. Look at all those upgrades going out. Fly, my pretties. Build me things. Build me stuff. It's not 10,000 robots darkening the skies. Not yet. But that is 400 logistics and 384 construction robots, all working on upgrading this mall and building the new parts of it. Let's speed it up, say to 30. That didn't take long. I probably shouldn't have sped it up. But that has everything upgraded and going. Let's see if there's anything I missed on the blueprint. I'm going to drop it there. Okay, so that didn't make any sound when I clicked it. So apparently it's all set. It should have objected to my manual upgrades. Yes, passive provider chest is in the way, but everything else looks good. So now we're left with 12 things that we haven't placed because we need concrete and we need requester chests. So the requester chests are for feeding some things that we don't have on belts. And the concrete is just here. I'm going to take those away. So eventually when I do peel this up, I am going to have to relocate all of the how many green? There's really only 17 green boxes. I probably could chase those down by eye. That's going to be a hard upgrade. Let's see, what can I know about those? Robotics. So this is in logistics system. So green is request specified items to be available for personal logistics and automated construction. So once it's in there, these would work as red. So I could use the green chests wherever I had a red. And the difference would be that they would be able to request things in as well as store. That's not bad. So I'll just upgrade all the reds to greens. And let's just set that up so when the green becomes available, it will just happen. There. Total overkill. And now I can go ahead and mark things for deletion, and it will just do it. And I can, well, if I wanted, I could set some suppliers. I'm betting that if I dumped everything in my inventory into a box, that the bots would resupply me. Autocraft size 0 stacks. I'm going to drop some boxes down, and I'm just going to put everything into boxes. And I'm going to tell the bots to get rid of it. And once it's done that, now is there anything here I don't want the bots to bring me? Oops, let's leave this set to 0. I'm good with all this. Let's turn this on. Oh, the chaos. Speed this up some. I'm not sure why it hasn't built those guys out. Oh, right, because the construction robots are still emptying those. There's too many different things. Let's make this a 10 by 10 storage grid. And please sort them out one per. So we're nearing the top of our production here. There. And let's set up, let's see, let's always have 5 offshore pumps. And let's always have a stack of steel boxes. Let's see, no iron boxes. And steel is 1 stack. And there, 1 stack of those. Anything else in here I need to recollect? Looks good. So all this is available to pull when I need it. And these are going to continue to build over here. So I now have robots. So given that I now have robots, it's time to beef it up to the point where it is in fact SKYNET. Which means what I want is, oh, how about 1,000 robots of each kind? Now, they won't actually build them all and get out there, but having them available... Oh, wait a minute. This needs to run out to there. There we go. Can I turn on robot traces here? So in debug, actually in always mode, can I show? Well, what I do is show robot stuff. Not paths. Show logistic robot targets. Collision render. I thought I had a way of showing my builders as they wandered around. Yeah, it's really just not showing them. Okay, so now we're going to change these so that it will make me up to 1,000 of each one, but limited by what's available there. Well, limited by how many you can stuff in. Okay, so we are going to learn how to make yellow packs soon. So our next thing that we're going to want is going to be purple or yellow. Purple or yellow. Looks like purple for productivity gets us into those. Yellow gets us into better robots. I really want to get to logistics system. Let's work towards yellow. We'll make yellow our next priority. And with the SKYNET coming along, I think it's time to call an end to this recording. Let's run back to the mall and shut it down. There. So when I pick this back up in the next episode, it will be to build yellow science. Save game.